It's going to turn off. Sometimes it does that. Okay, nope. Hi, welcome. My name is Sheba. Welcome to my channel. This is See Like Sheba. And oh, my sweet, precious butterfly, I'm so proud of you. You've changed. You have. You know it. You can feel it. You've changed. But it's okay. You've changed into a superhero, and I'm so proud of you. Okay, I was thinking about butterflies again. And, you know, like they spend all of, you know, their life at first as caterpillars. You know, after they go from little eggs, they turn into big, fat, juicy caterpillars. And they, you know, go about their day being caterpillars with their caterpillar friends and their little caterpillar schoolmates and coworkers and things. And I was talking to my neighbor the other day. Actually, I woke up without an alarm and I was called to go outside, and Billy was outside enjoying the sun. And when we both were out there, our neighbor came out and she called us over and you know, asked if we wanted to help her release butterflies. She raises butterflies and like from when they're eggs. And so we got to just like experience that. And it just got me, I was like, oh my God, I know there's a beautiful message in here. And so, yeah, anyway, I'm going to talk about that. And if it's your first time seeing me, hi, I'm Sheba. And this is my channel, See Like Sheba. And I am just letting myself, you know, share my beautiful, powerful, brilliant perspective. And yeah, that's always good. So if this resonates with you, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe. And okay, so we go over, all right, she's got these butterflies in a black kind of mesh case, carrier case. And, you know, you have to like, in order to like release them, you have to like kind of slide your finger underneath them and then like let the butterflies walk onto your hand. And then like you slowly like move them out and let them fly away when they want. Now the reason you don't just kind of like, whoop, you know, like take the butterfly out is because they have these pincers on their legs that if they're dislodged too early, they're not able to latch on to like flowers and shit and they die. So you have to be really careful with them when you're taking them out, all right? So my neighbor also brings over, she has, you know, the batch of butterflies who are already out of the cocoon, and she has some that are still in the cocoon. Ooh! So she's pinned them to this carrier case, all these little cocoons, and they're really pretty. They're green, and apparently they're green not because the caterpillar like is they're green not because the case is green. The green, the cocoon is actually clear or white. But when the caterpillar turns into, you know, goes into the cocoon, it turns into this green goo. And so the cocoon is green. It's wild. Okay. And so, caterpillar going about their day being a caterpillar. And they, when they're ready to transform, they put their body into this like J shape, and then their like back splits open, and then the cocoon becomes made out of the caterpillar's inside. It's crazy. It's wild. It's wild. It like, the caterpillar like wraps itself around itself and then it breaks down completely. And so while it's in this cocoon, so she was showing me some of the cocoons, and one of them, she took it off of, she has them on these pins that are pinned to the carrier case, and she takes it off and she had like broken a little piece of it off the top. And she was like, oh, dang, when that happens, when this little tiny piece is like broken, like the metamorphosis process stops and the butterfly dies. It doesn't like, change into the final transition as a butterfly. Okay. So I'm saying all this stuff because, I was thinking I'm about to, let my nieces in on what's been going on. I've certainly been in this period of cocooning, isolation, and it's so funny because we're taught to think of like butterflies as like the animal who evolves and has a huge metamorphosis where you go from like one thing, a caterpillar with certain abilities and powers and things, to a completely other thing. We kind of give butterflies the like credit for being, the animal that transforms, that changes and becomes something else. But what if like, I don't know, all animals, but what if lots of animals do that? Okay. And so humans, particularly, since we're just another animal. And, I think we tell ourselves that like we make up a number, like when you've been here for 18 years, then you are an adult. But we know that's not true. We know like our, brains aren't fully developed then. And yeah, we're like really just figuring things out, I think, well into our 30s. And so, I think we're kind of taught as humans to like stay artificially in our caterpillar stage. And we're taught to kind of live our whole life as caterpillars because we're taught to be so afraid of going into this cocoon stage, this stage of isolation, this stage where we leave everything behind and we completely dissolve into goo, and it's ugly and it's messy, and your beautiful caterpillar family can't come with you. And I imagine like the caterpillars are sad when their caterpillar sister goes into her J form and starts going into a cocoon. They're like, oh no, come on, stay with us. Stay in our fun caterpillar city. We're doing caterpillar stuff. But nah, babe, the, butterfly, formerly a caterpillar, she got to do her thing, man. She's just like, I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense, but I have to go into this J shape and I have to go into this cocoon thing. I have to become something else now. And while I'm in this cocoon, you can't touch me. You have to be incredibly delicate with me. You have to be I have a very special environment, and I'm in this really vulnerable state where I can't be doing the things I used to do. I have to chill. I have to relax. I have to just check out for a while. I don't even know what's going on. So I just got to like go into isolation, go into cocoon mode, and let my, new form become. Okay? And I think as humans, we, don't allow ourselves this time to be in a cocoon. We don't even give ourselves the chance to evolve. Like, we're taught to just kind of be like old caterpillars rather than butterflies, right? We're supposed to stay essentially what we were when we were children, and never make a transition to a completely different being with a different like DNA structure. So yeah, like I have certainly been, I'll say at least for the past 2 years, I've been in this cocoon phase where I had to break down completely, and I couldn't be around my old environment. The old environment was not hospitable enough for me. I needed a really tender, sweet incubator, like I'm a premature baby. Like I need special, a special environment, because if you're too rough with me, I'm gonna not make it through this transition. And so now, though, I've made it through the cocoon. So I also, our neighbor, got to show us. So she had, the cocoon butterflies and then ones that were about to come out of the cocoon. And so when they're about to come out of the cocoon, the color changes to a darker color, like a black almost. And then it's like starts to like crack, and then like this beautiful yellow, orange with black spot butterfly pops out. I always think it must be so interesting to be the first butterfly of a brood to come out of the cocoon, because they're probably like, what is happening? Why is everyone around me? What? Who? Because you're a totally different thing. You're used to being a caterpillar. So you don't even recognize yourself, let alone like, you didn't see yourself go into these cocoons. So you're probably like, what? Where am I right now? What is going on? It's probably such a relief when another butterfly comes out of the cocoon. So you can at least be like, okay, all right, I'm not crazy. There's at least one more like person who's going through this. So wild. So anyway, I'm in this cocoon to butterfly stage right now. And I bet if this message resonated with you, you are also in this stage, or you're about to be coming out. Okay. So when you come out of your cocoon, you don't immediately start flying, right? You're still trying to get your bearings. You're a completely new being now with totally different powers. And so you got to kind of practice. So the butterflies will sit there and they'll dry off their wings because they're wet. Ew, gross. But like, they're wet. And so they have to dry off their wings, and they kind of start like flapping them. They like stretch them out so they unfurl more and stuff. So when we see like a superhero movie, or a superhero origin story, the superhero goes from this transition from being a normal human to something more. They change butterfly-like into a superhero with new seemingly magic powers. Okay. And like when we see these superhero movies, the person doesn't go like just right from, being a regular human to a superhuman. They have to cocoon a little bit to get to know what their powers are. They have to usually be alone to try stuff out, to try and fail, just like figure out what their new abilities are. And they do that alone. They don't go and like tell their family like, hey, I've got these new superpowers. I'm still trying them on and I'm figuring it out. So let me know what time dinner is and I'll come down. No, they go off on their own. They go into their chamber of solace, their chamber of solitude. They go off onto some dojo somewhere far away, and they study and they learn and they practice and they try and fail and they see what their new abilities are. And that's probably what you're doing right now too. You're maybe coming out of your period of isolation, you're cocooning, where you have been infused with your new powers. I know you guys really enjoyed my talk about having a talent for being alone. And I know like I love being alone because that's when I get so many messages like from the divine. And I get to truly see myself when I'm alone and like see how powerful I am. You get to just see like you have access to all these powers, to the powers of the divine. And like you're both the magic and the magician. Oh my God, how powerful. So anyway, you get to be in this cocoon phase, and now you get to really start embodying, practicing your new powers. You're a superhero now. You've gone through the change. You've received the power. You've been broken down. You've had that you've seen sometimes in superhero movies, Spider-Man or something, when they first receive the power, it's difficult for their vessel to take. They're usually sweating and they throw up, and they're like hallucinating, and so yeah, you might have been going through that proverbially for the past couple of months, couple of years. Maybe you're about to go into that period, so buckle up. But don't worry, you make it out. It's a couple rough moments, but it's only going to make you stronger, okay? And yeah, and so once you come out of this period of isolation, out of this cocoon phase, you get to practice. You get to practice your superhero powers. You get to try and fail. You're like, there's no failing in this period. You're still figuring everything out. You're figuring out how the power feels in your vessel. You're learning how to activate your power so that the power isn't using you. You're using the power. All right? So, yeah. If you have been feeling like a little, maybe like, about how you've gone into isolation, how you called back your time and maybe cut off people, cut yourself off from certain environments, removed yourself from certain environments and people so that you can do your work, so that you could finish your metamorphosis, continue your metamorphosis, I should say. Because, I think our knowledge of butterflies kind of makes us think we kind of go through the one metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly, and that's all the metamorphosizing. But what if humans are different and we're able to go through multiple metamorphoses? Probably, right? All right. That's pretty much what I wanted to say, my darlings. So proud of you, little butterfly. You've made it out the cocoon, and it's okay that you had to be alone, that you couldn't be around people, that you pushed people away. When you're in the cocoon, you're delicate. You can't, people can't handle you the same way they used to. They have to be extra gentle with you when you're in this cocoon stage and when you're coming out. So that's okay. Take all the time you need. Because actually, so after we release the butterflies, they're apparently going to fly around here, and then they're going to go to Mexico. And then they're going to come back here, and then they're going to mate and make some babies, lay some eggs. And, a butterfly has such like a limited kind of experience where its kind of purpose almost is to just create more butterflies, lay more butterfly eggs and stuff and start the process over again. But humans aren't like that, babes. We have much bigger purposes than simple procreation, And so me and Billy, next month, we are flying south to Mexico like the butterflies. And we're going to come back, and who knows? Oh, I love it. I love that we're in this beautiful, nurturing, safe, incubator of an environment so that we can go through these transitions, these ascensions, these evolutions, safely and comfortably and with excitement. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here, darling. Okay. Oh my gosh, let's see. Hello. Oh, hi everyone. Sorry. Lo siento. Kifak, ¿cómo estás? Hello. What do you mean about Charlie Kirk? Gosh, men can only ever talk about themselves. My goodness, I'm talking about butterflies, okay? I'm talking about transforming into a superhero, all right? Why are we talking about that dead white man? All right? Couldn't even figure out how to make it to 32. All right? So we're not talking about him anymore, okay? Thank you, Lord, for thy will being done and removing the wicked from this 3D reality. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, but hi, Karina. ¿Cómo estás? I hope you're good. Ooh, Panama. That's cool. My mother has been to Panama and I have not, but I hear it's really cool and has a lot of Black people there too. Anyway, so yeah, if you made it this far, leave me a butterfly in the comments, okay? And subscribe if you're not already one of the tribe. And yeah, man, this is like, I don't even know. I think it's like episode maybe like 65. I'm trying to go on every day for 111 days. And we're on like day 65. So we're like over halfway there. And I'm so proud of myself for going on pretty much every day for over 2 months. And no signs of stopping. I'm having so much fun. So, Tengo muy divertido. Tengo mucho divertido. I have a lot of fun. Oh, thank you. I see those butterflies. Las mariposas. That's Spanish for butterfly. All right, my darlings. I love you. And be gentle with yourself through these changes. The changes are perfectly natural. They're perfectly, like, you know, correct. And I'm proud of you. So don't be afraid if you have to be by yourself for a while. If you don't recognize yourself, it's just because you're becoming something even more extraordinary, something even more magical. Powerful. All right. Perfect. Perfecto. Muchísimas gracias, mi amores. All right. Bring your forehead up against the screen. What is forehead in Spanish? La frente? No, that's front. I don't know. Okay. I love you. Te amo. And this is all made up. I gotta figure out how to say that in Spanish. Todo es, I don't know, to make up, to make, hacer, to make up. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, you've changed. I'm proud of you. You're awesome. You got this. And I'll see you in the next phase, my love. Keep going. Keep going. Maybe I'll see you in Mexico. Who knows? All right. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Salam. And yalla bye, babe.